Distinguished Chair, I thank you for organizing the first model presentation in 2025. I also thank Guyana for detailing the CARICON model. India aligns itself with the statement delivered by Japan on behalf of G4 and St. Vincent and Grenadines on behalf of L69. Presentation of models helps member states understand the views of different groups and individual countries on the overall approach in general and position on each of the 5 clusters in particular pertaining to Security Council reforms better. We believe that concrete discussions on different models would eventually pave the way for text-based negotiations, which are absolutely essential for achieving tangible progress on reforms. It is important that member states move away from the endless cycle of discussions and debates towards real negotiations. India fully supports CARICOM's position that both the permanent and non-permanent categories of the Council should be expanded. Reforms are imperative in order to make the Council reflective of the current geopolitical realities and enable it to meet its core mandate of maintenance of international peace and security more purposefully. Towards these ends, expansion of the Council in the non-permanent category only would perpetuate the current imbalances and historic injustices. India takes positive note of CARICOM's proposed approach towards regional representation in both categories in a reformed council. It bears mention that India has also echoed support for the representation of the small island developing states sits on the council. India does not support efforts of some cross-regional groupings that attempt to introduce newer parameters, including faith, as the basis for representation in a reformed council. India and CARICOM share the view that there should be no distinction between current and future permanent members of the Council as regards the question of veto. CARICOM's recommendation to bring in more transparency and inclusivity in the Council is particularly noteworthy. In conclusion, India would like to reiterate the following points. First, commencement of text-based negotiations with clearly defined milestones and timelines are central to real reforms. Second, opposing text-based negotiations risks impeding meaningful progress and perpetuating a status quo that benefits a limited number of countries while constraining broader and inclusive reforms. And finally, underrepresented and unrepresented regions, including in Africa, Latin America, and Asia, should have meaningful and equitable representation. A consolidated model that does not subscribe to expansion in both categories would not only further entrench the status quo, but also push prospects of real reform that are needed to make the United Nations fit for purpose a long time into the future. I thank you, Chair.